So let's dive in and see all the awesome things the glass stack can do for us. Obviously, it's a stack that allows us to create glass layouts on our websites. And if we look at this demo right here really shows us a lot of the basics of what the glass stack can do for us. This first demo it's a transparent glass demo. So we can clearly see through it. We clearly see that it's transparent. It has a little bit of distortion for the background that it's on top of. It has this lovely edge, which is the default actually look, that kind of fades to nothing. Super nice. We'll notice that there's a slight bevel, like an inset shadow that kind of gives it a little bit of glare, which gives it definitely that glassy effect, right? And lastly, you've probably seen this nice shimmer effect on hover as well. Now, if you don't like the transparent, you want more of a frosted effect, this demo definitely shows that, right? Where the glass you can see through it, but it definitely has a frosted look to it. Things are a little bit more blurry. They're more distorted in the background. And also you notice that we have a nice little spotlight effect on hover, which can add a really nice little effect to your content. Next, we'll drop down to this one down here, and that is the gradient borders. But not only that, notice here that these first two demos were kind of like very glassy, like clear, kind of white glass. This allows us to show that we can actually create colors. We can still make it look like glass. We have the blurry background. This demo also uses the spotlight hover effect as well. But the purpose of this is to kind of show you the nice gradient borders that we have here. Notice that it goes from green all the way to blue. And this actually has a very subtle hover effect as well. When we hover over it, that gradient spins around one time. Now, you might think, oh, I want that multiple times. Well, we can now, on this demo here, show that we have animated borders. And this particular one, just infinitely, the gradient keeps going around and around on this demo. Now, obviously, this demo uses colored glass as well with a nice, bokeh blurred effect in the background. So yeah, really great little stack. Now, with all these features that I just talked about, you can mix and match those to kind of create your own look that you want, right? These just give you the basics of the things that you can do with glass, but really your imagination is the limit. And to show you some other ideas of what you can do, let's scroll down here and look at this second demo. Now, here we have a menu, and you'll notice that when I hover over it, we use that spotlight effect to kind of follow your mouse to kind of show you where you're hovering. So it's a very interesting way of doing hover effects for menus. Now, as I scroll down the page, you'll notice right here, you'll start noticing with the images that the content is bleeding through that glass. We're getting a nice frosted look through the menu, okay? And another thing in this demo, we'll notice that these buttons here. Now, I have to admit, this is kind of an accident by me. I wanted to show off the glass swatch. So these are just your normal run-of-the-mill buttons, no special effects added to them at all. The only thing added was the glass swatch. And we used one glass swatch to apply the same look and feel to every single one of these buttons. And you might be wondering, but hey, Joe, all these buttons look different. Well, that's because they're glass and they're bringing in the colors from the background into it. So it really makes it merge into the background and makes it look really nice and fitting. Also notice the nice little border hover effect here, where we're hovering and that gradient is switching from top to bottom to kind of give us a really nice little hover effect. Again, all of these buttons were styled with one single glass swatch. Now, before we go, I should give you a tour of what the stack looks like inside the stack's edit mode. I'm not going to do a full tutorial. We'll do a live stream. Make sure you don't miss that, where I will go over every single one of these implementations. Right now, let's just do a quick tour of the settings so you can kind of see what this stack has in store for you. So at the very top, we have the background settings. We can have a solid color background, which actually allows you to change the color on hover as well. Or we can do a gradient background where you can actually have multiple colors and give yourself a kind of a glassy gradient look, which is really nice. Obviously, with the gradient, you can change the direction of that gradient. Okay, if we're looking at this demo here, you can see we can change the gradient. And then obviously the blur, which increases the bokeh effect or the distortion between the glass and the background. We have that shimmer effect in all of its settings. and then the spotlight effect in all of its settings. So as you turn those on and off, those settings will be displayed. Then we go down to the border settings, and this is where we can define our multiple colors for the gradient. If you just want a solid color, just make sure you just set both colors to be exactly the same. And then you can use the direction, just as we did with the background, to change the positioning of that gradient. And then we, as you saw earlier, we can change kind of colors on hover. So you can actually define a different border gradient on hover, which is nice. Then we have standard border width and border radius. And this is where we can animate that border. So we can animate it once or infinitely. And last but not least, we have the ability to have that inset shadow, which kind of gives us that curved, glare look. And then a drop shadow, which is the shadow between the glass and the background, right? To kind of set things apart. Now the glass container itself, we need some padding settings and some custom classes if you want to apply other swatches or CSS to glass itself. Now the swatch has all the exact same settings here, so I'm not going to dive into that right now. Just know that all these settings are exactly the same, no matter if you're using the glass stack or the glass swatch. So yeah, I hope you enjoy glass. It's a really elegant, modern stack that is really going to make a lot of your layouts pop. So I hope you get it and love it. Now go forth and make your websites great.